put up Robert's therapy bars that he's going to use to teach himself how to walk again. And we're going to put them right here. And I've got 4 bags of cement, I've got shovels, post hole diggers, levels, and I got the bars that stretch all the way up to yonder, and I got the bars that are going in the ground. So that is our task for today. I'll start getting everything out, and we'll start getting ready to make the magic happen here. Look at me. Look at what you've done to me. Look what a mess you've made out of me. And this is after I've already washed off part of it. This is all your fault, you know that?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
I'll let you talk to them while I move the truck over here and bring the truck.
Okay, hey guys. We're in Hull, Georgia today. And Mr. Richard is in the process of putting in what is called parallel walking bars, because as of July 11th, I get my second prosthetic. And so this allows me to practice at the house. And so you see he's putting the bars in, and he's up to the point. He's dug the holes, and he's getting ready to put some cement into them. And if you notice, there's a nice little cute flower at the end. That's my sister's flower. And it's a good color for it like that. Otherwise, I hope everybody's doing good and enjoying the 4th of July. So as you see, Richard's backing up because he's got to deal with the cement. And so that's the only way to make it stay in the ground. So the weather around here is really good, so it's going to be a nice warm day. And I think Richard said they're going to go out on the boat this afternoon and enjoy life as a retiree on the water.
Just keep the camera running, because this is the fun part when the concrete comes out. Oh, we're going. And just so you know, I'm officially too old for this.
Yeah, it's one of those things in life. Concrete's a young man's game.
And I don't want you to forget, this is your fault. You got a lot of nerve going getting your legs cut off.
There you go, boy. Just nothing else to do. Yeah, let's just get rid of them.
Well, I think I'll get my legs sawed off. That'll give Pete something to do. Keep him busy.
Yeah.
Keep him out of trouble.
Yeah. So this will be a fun thing to start practicing on as of next week.
Now what I'm doing here is this bar is lined up just with the driveway. I'm going to pour cement in these two and make them solid, and then I'm going to line those two up, and then we'll pour some cement on them. And I've calculated like a bag per hole. So of course it's got water in there, which is good because water and cement, they kind of work together.
Sort of work together on that.
With each other. Yeah.
And so the idea, if you're wondering, the plan is, after learning to re-walk with both legs, is that the poles will stay in the ground, with the idea of her putting running plants and flowers with it, so it will not go to waste, and it should be something different. See, this is why Richard is a mechanical thinker for us. He figures out these things.
I'm the fix-it guy.
And makes it work.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? Woo-wee. Oh, great ball of fire.
And normally in a case like this, what's really, to me, I find unique, he normally finds this stuff around his property. Because I can remember in the past, some days you'd see him coming with the trailer, coming in, and all sorts of just crazy stuff he'd have.
It looks like I'm going to use a little bit less than a bag per hole. Means I'll have some left over. I can go home and take some.
Yeah, see, what a great way to spend your 4th of July, see?
Yep,
Yeah.
little mother bag.
That's what my sister was telling me the other day. She said, well, when you start back walking, I got a list of stuff I want done. And it's like, yeah. She goes, for 6 months, you have not been doing it. I got so. But the biggest challenge is still becoming going home because there's 12 steps.
Hey.
Ross, I gotta go get your prescription.
Okay.
Lances or whatever.
Yep.
Right off the left. They call and said they're ready to pick up.
Okay.
You wanna run over to the
You know what I might do? Is once I get these in here and level that dirt out,
Right.
if I have any bags of that left over, just pour it along the top of it.
Right. To make it
it's
like
hard
a
enough.
walkway. Yeah.
That'll give you a place to walk.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Now I got to figure out what to do over here.
Uh-huh. And I know you guys have probably heard that he's got a new toy to play with.
That's 24 inches right there.
Okay, that'll be
So
good.
I'm gonna just glue that one right where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? I'd love to have you come any day, anytime.
Okay.
Yeah, you just let us know when you want to come up, buddy. We'll have us a big time. Absolutely. Inches.
Mm-hmm.
I think I might go ahead and pour the rest of the bag here.
Right.
Just while I go down there.
And some of the ladies from church was like, you and Trish looked almost surprised when we were recognizing you guys.
I wasn't expecting it. Yeah. You got me, buddy. You got me. I mean, we ain't done nothing special except enjoy the party.
Yeah, but you know, it's amazing though. We were talking about that with a lot of the ladies, and they were saying it's amazing what people should do and what they actually do.
Yeah.
Because she said a lot of times you'll hear people say, oh, that was nothing special. It was just what you should do. But
you know what? I have one prayer that I pray often.
Mm-hmm.
It's Lord, let me be helpful to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's my regular prayer. Like, what am I asking for today? Let me be helpful. Make use of me, Lord.
Mhm.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yep.
Otherwise, look that in.
Well, yeah, the day is not as good.
Come over here and hold this.
Yeah. Be right there. And as you guys also noticed, the Georgia red clay, even though the top layers were black soil, as you see as we dug down further.
Got the Georgia red clay.
Yep.
Looks like one side's more than the other, but I think it just looks that way because whichever side I'm standing on looks
Right.
like it, so.
That's close enough.
That seems pretty much.
Yeah.
There again. My tape measure.
I thought the last time you threw it was over there in that section.
Yeah. Robert, you hiding my tools on me again?
Poltergeist it around.
I just threw it down on the ground.
Uh-huh.
How did that happen? How did that disappear like that?
I know, just hit the ground and kept running, huh?
There it is. I hid it out here in the bushes.
So now you're gonna buy another garage for the truck, or are you gonna park it? Where are you gonna park it at?
Well, I'm selling the Rambler,
Oh, that's right.
so I don't need another garage. Ain't that clever?
It balances it out, doesn't it?
Yep. Well, it doesn't give me enough money to air condition the Studebaker. Look at that. That's perfect. Holy shit moly, Robert. You lined that right up. Man.
Yeah, so you air condition the Studebaker, boy, you're cruising in the summertime then.
Well, I like the Studebaker best. If it was air conditioned, it would be the best. So that's the plan. Take the money from that, air condition the Studebaker, and put maybe some new brakes on the back of that rat rod. Oh man, we'll be schooling, we'll be styling. Alrighty then.
So now, do most car shows happen in the summer or the fall?
Fall and spring is best
Oh,
because
fall and
down
spring.
here it's too hot
Mm-hmm.
in the dead of summer. If they happen in the summer, they usually happen at night for that very reason.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause I know that one
Always
always
wrecked.
went afternoon,
Yeah.
late to early evening.
Right.
And I think the last one that was in Elberton was in the evening.
Yeah, it is. It's coming up on 27th.
Okay.
Starts at 5. After this all hardens up,
Yep.
right now it's a bit like making mud pies. You don't have a rake, do you?
When she comes back, she will. She probably knows where it is closer than I do.
Yeah. I could walk it down. Then you'd have to wash your feet again.
That you, I was gonna say you'd be going right over that again. Mm-hmm.
Wash the little cement rocks out of my shoes first. It don't hurt to sit here and rest a minute.
There you go.
Hey tubers. Well, y'all came, well, them ain't that far off from each other, are they?
No, that looks nice though.
Yeah. Yeah, cut them babies down. Make them perfect.
And like I said, that'd be the next phase, is learning to rewalk and turn around and do that. Because he was telling me that at the last doctor's appointment, he says when you're walking between the bars, turn around but don't back up. Because he says your natural tendency is to want to back up.
Yeah.
He said we don't want you backing up yet.
Why don't you roll back a little bit so I can wash my feet off.
Okay.
I'm liable to splash you if you don't. not good, Robert.
I can imagine. And speaking of which, how's the pool working out this summer?
Good.
Let's see that work.
Cooling off a little. Alright, I'm going to go on a search for a rake.
Yeah.
See if I can find one around here.
Yeah, it might be outside, but that's the reason I say I'll ask when she gets back, because it might be in one of the sheds, because you know how magically easiest way to keep up with tools is to keep them inside. The sheds and stuff like that, so.
Okay, tubers, I'll give y'all two choices. You can keep running and just sit here and talk to Robert while I look for a rake, or I can make him cut you off. Those that want him to cut you off, raise one hand. Those that want you to, what was the other thing?
We'll keep going. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So, like I said, we're enjoying the 4th of July. Isn't it amazing how quickly this year seems to be going by? And there's a grill that we grill out on, fishing poles. Sort of missed this year doing that because I've been not able to go out. But like I said, we're now within 1 week of being able to get the second leg. So this will be the walking practice. And hopefully by end of August or middle of August, start dance practicing. And just figuring out how it feels to move the feet. And getting the feet to go approximately where we want them to go. And that sounds like, I think that's going to be a big challenge, especially on the swings. Because when you're dealing with this, you've got to now tell the feet to move. Before it was just a natural motion. Now it's actually being told, you got to move. So we'll see how that works out, or the progression. But our major goal is still the same, is that we're hoping to be able to start going back to nursing homes and stuff between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so we can do the Christmas shows with the dancers. And we will have different groups out. One of the groups will be called, of course, Happy Feet. And the other one will be called Happy Pieces.
You got a nice backyard back there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it goes down a pretty good direction. Yeah, the house was built back in 1960, and so it was owned by a gentleman that farmed this area. And so as a farmer, he had a lot of land that he subdivided to his kids. But this is the part that he built the house on. See now, can't you picture Richard being a farmer? You know, just...
Yeah, my folks were sharecroppers. Everybody in my family was a sharecropper until Dad went off to war.
Isn't it amazing how stuff changed, how the world wars changed everything?
My dad said they didn't know what money was till they went to war.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew what money was.
Yeah. Because a lot of stuff back in the day, you bartered. 'Cause I know my parents and grandparents did that. If somebody else had cabbages and vegetables, and the ones that raised hogs would gladly trade something for that. So, and plus it was a different time. Because people a lot of times, you did whatever you could do to help everybody else out without question about what you were always getting back. And when your time came around and needed something, people helped. But the biggest difference, remember last year with all the noise that was being created by all the little, what were they called? What's the official title for the, is it, what would they call those little things? Acadias or what?
Acadians?
Yeah, Acadians.
You know, the Acadians were a cross between the Indians and Cajuns. You knew that, right?
Yep. Because, yeah, last summer it was so loud all the time. It was like it was almost like you were in a spaceship someplace.
I should probably mention the Acadians were French. They were. I think they were a cross between black and French.
Mm-hmm.
And then they mixed up with the Indians.
Yep. Because I remember now the Creoles, which are light enough to pass, even though they're black, they're light enough to pass for white.
You know, I used to run over in South Carolina and meet this Cajun guy, truck driver. He talked exactly like a black person.
Right.
Which I'd never heard before. That struck me as odd. You know, you learn a lot when you meet people from other places.
Right.
He said I'm a Coonance.
Uh-huh.
I never heard anybody say that before. Seemed like a funny thing to call yourself, but after I understood the connotations and all, it's like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
And now down in Louisiana, they really don't have Santa Claus, they have Papa Noel. So he's not pulled by reindeers, he's pulled by alligators. So if you've never had a chance to go to Louisiana, everybody should go for the food. Even if you don't, because the food is definitely different. That's a whole region. And it has very good food.
I think people that ain't never met people from away need to, because that's a great way to get to learn about people.
Right.
Other than just yourself.
And the cultures, yep. Because we always laugh from the south when you went up to north. Was it all of a sudden you ran different attitude and talking? Because to me there is nothing more distinguishable than a Boston accent. But I do hope everybody's getting a chance to get out and enjoy the summer. Yeah, if you're near a lake, I hope you could get the chance to go out on it. And if not, I hope you got ways to cool oneself down in water or some type pool or whatever you're doing. And in Elberton now, they're creating and building more pickleball courts. So pickleball is continually growing in this part of the county. As opposed to, again, most people don't know that pickleball started out west and has been around since the early 1960s. And there's always an argument about how it got its name. Some say that it was because the first people that were playing it had a little dog named Pickle, and others just said who knows why. But if you've not experienced a chance to play pickleball, that's again one of the fun things in this world to do. And as you guys would also know, Richard is very much into cars, so the car shows are very popular in his book, and sometimes it is neat to go out and see all the old cars and see things of that nature that we normally don't see. And so what he's did, as you see, he's sort of made a little walkway down the thing. And as this dries and everything else, he will, right now I think he says it's close to 42 inches. I'm only 5'4", so he will come back up and cut that down. After it hardens, the ground hardens around the thing. So we want to get it around probably 31 to 34 inches. So therefore it's at a natural height. And like I said, the idea behind these is not really to press hard on them, but the idea is to be able to keep your balance in case you lose it. Because again, everyone tells me that when you have two prosthetic legs and you got to learn how to walk on both, it's definitely different. And so we are looking forward to that move. And again, all of this started back in February with the first amputation, and we're now, in starting July, and we're actually, like I said, we're going to be 1 weekend, and we'll be through with everything of that nature. So we're pleased to get it all done in those months right there. So, between 5 and 6 months, and that gives me a chance to get started back with everything else before the year ends. Because that dreaded whole year off from doing anything is never good. Okay, here he comes, sir. See, he's going to end up getting that James Brown title as the workingest man around. Because, like I said, I know he loves to help people, and he's helped anything mechanical, running and not running, put back together, and all of that type of things. What I find fascinating, see, that's why every mind is different, because he can find more things to do what he wants to do and make it practical. And see, I have the mind of, I would be still scratching my head going, okay, what do we need to do to get this thing even started? So but one of the things I found fascinating about him, Richard, how many total boats, different type boats do you have, or floating items do you have?
Floating items?
Yep.
I got four kayaks. I got a paddleboard. I got a pontoon boat. I got a Boston whaler. Maybe I sold a couple of 10 boats and another bass boat.
So now, is your Boston whaler still your favorite?
Yep, sure is. And Dan has a Boston whaler now.
Okay.
He found one for sale and bought it. He's restoring it. He liked mine so much, he decided he wanted one.
That's neat enough.
And they've got a pontoon boat, but he said he likes the Boston whaler better than the pontoon boat.
Right. But I can imagine the Boston whaler gets you into so many more spots than the pontoon, though. Because the Boston whaler seats how many?
Well, I've had 3 people in it, but it's most comfortable with just me. But I mean, you can get more people in it. The more weight you get in, the more you have to start thinking about weight distribution and stuff like that. It'll carry it.
And I remember one time you were trying to have multiple cameras mounted on the boat.
I did. I experimented with the cameras, but I decided that one camera is the best. So when I get multiple cameras, it doesn't make a better picture.
Right.
I'll take this back down.
Okay. And so again, I just know for them being out in the water is great, and they've got all the different things to get them out there at any given time. And and his wife Trish, they had told me one time, became a rower. So when I think it was a Canadian team that was down here practicing on Lake Russell, she took a class that allowed her to learn to be a rower or a sculler with them with the Canadian team. So that sounded really neat and stuff like that. And see, this reminds me of days of old. You got the big oak trees hanging out, so you can sit outside under the pecan and oak trees. And in Hull, they put the flags out for 4th of July and all the patriotic holidays. And as soon as it gets a little bit later, they'll be switching over to getting ready to prep for Christmas and stuff. And I think in Colbert or Comer, they've got a parade this year. So it's pretty neat. But that definitely tells us we're in the South. But anyway, I'm gonna in a moment have Richard cut the camera off, and you guys have a very good 4th.
I think this was a good day's work.
Definitely.
I don't know. You probably explained it to him. We're going to come back and we're going to cut those off.
Yep.
To his hand length. But once that gets dry, he should be able to stand between them and have enough strength to hold him up.
Right.
While we get a perfect measurement, and then I'll take a grinder and just zip them all off with a level. And I can pull those pipes out and set them back in once I get the top level. And that'll give everything time to harden up.
Yep.
It's
That's one good thing about being in Georgia. It don't take that long.
I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't be swinging from it for the next few days.
No.
Get there.
Use it like a gymnastics parallel bar. Let's go see if we can do handstands on
Might
it.
even be liable to do something like that. Crazy man. I think I'm just going to leave them gloves just sitting there.
That'd be fine.
They're dripping and they're big strip ones. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna need them when I come back, so I'll just let them sit there and dry out.
That'd be no problem.
Anything else I need to take care of while I'm here?
No sir. As far as I know.
You want to say anything to the Happy Feet people?
Oh, I've been telling them.
You've told them.
Yeah, 4th and everything.
Everything
else
they
like
need
that.
to know.
Yeah, and we've been talking about the different spots we're at.
All right. Okay. Sounds good to me. Love you, tubers. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time. Let's go get some breakfast. See ya.